my God.
That's not enough. You have to create, and it has to be better than what you were disrupting. That's a lot to do with an optimistic attitude after what we've been through. So, get ready.
I'll give you no trouble, I promise you that. I've set a little insect on ahead to take the fight out of them. Take special care of those ruby zippers. I want those most of all. Now fly! Fly!
Flying monkeys is the topic, and otherwise known as pawns. And what you need to think about with pawns that I remember from these last years for me is often they don't even realize that they're a pawn. They just know their little bit, they know their task, and they don't know why they're doing it sometimes. It leads to so many questions of corruption. And at what level will somebody do something for money? Because something really innocent can turn to something really ugly really fast. And I think if they knew what they knew, then they wouldn't have done it. In many cases that I can think of, that I've heard of, that I've experienced. I like to think of it like this. Imagine somebody came to you and said, I'm a friend of your mother's and I want to surprise her. I'm back in town. I want you to get her to the coffee shop we used to go to, but don't tell her I'm here. And of course, if this happens in person versus online, you know, the mechanism that it happened, have you heard this person's name? All those things go into it. But if you take it at face value, or if somebody offers to pay, what's your limit? You know, what? It seems innocent. Do you have a limit? Because it seems innocent. But it's entrapment and conspiracy if it goes wrong, and you're there holding, you know, the bag that inevitably disintegrates in your hand if something is not pure. And most of these things, you have to just assume now. We're getting better, but if it's in your inbox, it's a scam. If it's in your inbox, it's a scam. So I want to talk about pawns a little. There's so many different kinds of pawns, but really the core foundation of pawns and using them in an evil way has sound rules in the universe and in many religious texts. I focus mostly on non-religious texts and grab the essence from the text and from other sources, but this concept is well rooted, and it's about divinity and being plugged in with the highest. And if you believe in those things, then you also believe that no weapon that is, you know, engaged towards you can prosper. It will not prosper. It breaks divinity. It breaks universal law. It breaks religious mythology. Conspiracy? No. It's pretty proven. And, you know, there's different levels of it, of course. Sometimes it's just justice that comes to correct it, or karma, or perhaps somebody taking things into their own hand and even retaliation. But if you draw a weapon on someone and it goes poor, it won't prosper, is the belief. And I know it to be true. So just know that's what you're up against. When you make somebody a pawn, when you use them as a pawn, you're turning them into a human weapon, and no weapon will prosper. That person that you've paid, that you've coerced, that you've maybe even told a story to about the why, is operating with kind of a wall of not knowing, so they can maintain integrity because they don't know what they're really a part of. But rest assured that justice does not care. Intent, yes, it will lessen your sentence. But if they sought to defraud, or if they sought to harm, it will not prosper. It's just a law. If you want to debate that, there's somewhere you can do that. I'm just here to tell you, don't turn people into pawns, because they will sell you out if it's serious and they're not on board. Okay? If they find out that you use them in a way that put them at risk, their job, their livelihood, their family, their health, they will become the correction. They will become the correction that comes back at you. And in the case of if they know what they're doing, if you've brought them in on the plan, then it's a conspiracy. Or it's entrapment. Or they're a hired hand and they've done something for money, which makes them part of the, like an accomplice. So there's no good endings. There just aren't. We have to use our discernment. And unfortunately, the discernment level has reduced because of scarcity. But that's a lie in itself. The scarcity is created by itself. People have taken, yes, they've taken more in some cases and unjustly, and caused others to go without. But it's all being corrected. This is what this is all about. Wait for the correction. Don't engage. Don't take the bait. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. When you look back at your actions and you wish that you could take them back or do them differently or not do them at all, you will thank me for all the times you didn't take the bait.
Calzone!